Hello and welcome back to Rollercoaster Tycoon, where we look at one of the many empty sections here in the park. But in particular, the yellow one. And, well, here's the thing. I just now learned something. Look what it is. We can color the ice cream stalls. How cool is that, huh? I totally didn't know, and now that I do know, yeah, well, I mean, how can I not color the ice cream stalls, huh? I mean, oh wait, that's the one we just colored, but after all these years, we still learned something new. Who would have guessed? Oh, and you are, of course, right on the border of, I say, you ice cream stall are going to be in the green-blue section, which means you will have this color. Nice! Alright, so, another thing well, you know, I'm kind of curious too. And I didn't even really consider it or realize it, but thinking about it, it is obvious, basically. This park, because of its nature of the goals that you have to achieve, has a potential for very, very high park value. I don't know where. This only says the size. It doesn't really. Once you complete it, you get over here, I believe, the park rating, but at which you completed it. But maybe we should take a look over here, like income. Yeah, wow, look at that. I mean, in terms of money, loan interest, only 40 game euro bucks. Look at our ride income. 12,000 a month, yeah. And the running costs are only 1,200, and our staff wages, I believe that's like the biggest spending part. Yeah, that's only like 2,500. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, here's that's the profit, the park value. Look, we are at 43,000. Now, I don't know what the highest previous one was. I read in the comments that it was the Coaster Crazy Park. And we are going to add... Alright, let me set this up. We're going to add more coasters, because I believe we need like 4 more. So we have plenty of opportunity to get really high park value in here, because they need to be long. So I can't even help it. I need to build long coasters. Give me long coasters. It's almost like, you know, Junk saying, I need my crack. Anyway, about the coasters that we have to build. This we're definitely going to. Same as this, because those are difficult ones to get above 7 and 1,200 meters. This is stupidly easy, so I feel like we shouldn't do this one. The same for this one and this one. Those are like stupidly easy to build above 7 excitement rating and 1,200 meters. This one's actually more difficult. This is tricky. Same for this one. So I feel like we should just try and make it as difficult as we can, and this one doesn't count. Oh man, I get off easy, because this above 7 in this park, yeah, I don't know. So, to get the cool stuff, I also need like a coaster that has loopings. So, I think this is pretty much the only option that we have. Because remember, I said that I had the best idea ever, which we're gonna execute with this coaster, which I feel like we should build after we do a quick vandalism check here. In terms of vomit and litter, it's not looking so bad. I mean, with a big park like this, we definitely have a lot of room to cover for our vandalism check. So far, so good, you know, doing the scanning thing with my RoboCop eyes. It's looking good. It's definitely looking good. It's looking better, even better. Hey, wait. That's not... Oh my. That's not good at all. There is rampant vandalism here. Now, we did just hire some guards, so I'm not going... Wait, what? No. I'm not going to hire more guards like straight away because I feel like we just hired the guards. So let's give them like a few more chances, but that's definitely that's alright. Nothing else seems broken though. Yeah, that seems alright. Good, okay. Then, back to what we were about to do. And that is to construct this coaster. So, as for where it's going to be, this is obviously going to be the yellow coaster. It needs to be over here. And we can go either in this area with the station, but I feel like we shouldn't. I feel like we should go with the station into the underground and have it connect up to the path here. And it's gonna be a big one, and we're gonna have all the room to do whatever we want with it. So let's see. Yeah, we're gonna basically have the station be on like thanks game. I just set the view the way I wanted to, and then you change it back. Thanks game. So we'll do some nice terraforming, because that's what we do. And we'll raise up our park value by quite a bit. This coaster is actually rather expensive, you know, so getting park value out of this is easy. Now, the trick about this coaster is that it's crazy difficult, and what I can tell, the trick to it is to not go bonkers with the G's. So to that end, let's see. Do we have like? No, we can only do the stand-up thingies, which is kind of, you know, makes sense. It's a stand-up roller coaster anyway. And this is also good because this boat thingy has not that many benches, so I think it's good to have the coaster share the benches with the water thingy. Yeah, I'm being very specific today. I hope you noticed this. You know, with the thingy and the stuff and the things. Wait, what? Nice. Oh, that fits perfectly. Good. Well, I think what we need to do really is start construction here of the coaster. We do not have boosters. We only have corkscrews and loopings. And to be fair, I don't think we're gonna do corkscrews on this one. Because as I said, as far as I can tell, this coaster is really sensitive to lateral G-forces. So let's try and avoid those for as much as possible. Now, obviously, a few G's don't matter, right? So, and at the same time, we also need to keep this somewhat in our yellow section, which is from over here to, oh, it's from over here till the giraffe here. And then from over here all the way till the giraffe there. So we do have a little bit of area, but we're gonna try and see that we keep it in there. Now, because we cannot do lateral G's, doesn't mean that we cannot do the vertical G's, right? So definitely do we want that. And then see that we somehow, yeah, and when we do need to make lateral G's, that's alright, so long as we keep them not that high. Now we come from height 24, so I feel like a wide curve here is what we can do. Basically, because of our G-force limitation, we're basically forced to carefully consider where this track is going, which is a challenge, I'll have to admit. I mean, also, what is this music that we're listening to? I'm not entirely sure that I approve of it either. And then me see here. So now this is the big question and the big moment. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Guys, you do see what's happening here, right? You do see what's happening here, right? Oh yeah. How cool is this? And you know what? You know what? I'm even willing to try, like, if we can pull off something like this. That's totally doable. Is this even doable? Oh, this is so cool. Yeah, this is just too cool to not do, right? I mean, what is the height? 19. Pretty sure we'll have the speed to pull this one off. Oh man, how cool is this? You know, have like a loop here. And you know what? We're gonna quickly lift this. And I believe we should be at like really slow speeds here. So if we then just do it like this, in theory this should work. Oh. So let me see. Let me lift it up again, because this is you know, one of the pieces that I said, like, yeah, this is like the greatest idea ever. Well, how cool is this? If you were walking here on this path, wouldn't you be like, oh, I need to go on this coaster instantly, and boom, there's the queue. Yeah, man, oh man. Now I'm also not sure, but I believe I did not saw helix pieces in here. No, we did not. So there isn't much for this coaster to do in terms of like special track pieces. Now, another thing is that we might want to drop ourselves down one lower, and then okay, so this needs to be done one earlier. I think you now know also where I'm heading with this track, but if you don't, you'll see. Look, how good is this? Now we've come from height 25. So I feel like what we should do is get up and then lift it. I mean, the lift there is just for the security. We should not really go that quick here. And then... Ooh, the tidiest park in the country. That's probably because we just cleaned up some vomit, huh? I would not be surprised. And then go up. Now, I'm not sure if it will make it all the way up till here. This is rather high, so let's not gamble it, right? And then lifted. Now I believe a curve as wide as this is acceptable. And then we'll drop down a little more. And then just do like a slight bit more curving here. I also feel like what we should do is maybe try and see that we get back. I mean, and the G's on this coaster will be so mellow that... Oh. Yeah, that might be an issue. Now, but the G's on this coaster will be so mellow, I cannot imagine them being a problem for anything, right? I am curious, like, how is this gonna turn out? Okay, so it's gonna complain about the coaster being in the way. We come from height 24. We should have a bit of pace to do something like this. Okay. Oh! Haha, okay. I did not realize we were this close to the thing. Is it the roller coaster or is it the what? Ah, wait. I see what's happening here now. Yeah, alright. Now that's working out though. Cool. I approve. Now as for like, well, you know where we're lining up for? Guys, you do not want to know. We are totally lining this one up for, and I think those who know my coaster building style by now, they know. In fact, I do believe that we are actually not able to pull this one off. So let us line ourselves up for this in a better fashion, right? So let's go like this, and then like this, and then lifted. And we don't really need to go crazy high, because else we'll have way too much speed going through this loop. In fact, I'm pretty sure that at height 25 we have plenty of speed. But we do want to make at least some headway, you know, with where the track's going. Are we gonna line ourselves up proper is the question. No, that's not gonna work. And it needs to be like this. I'm not liking where this is going, basically. Let us do at least one of these quick and dirty queues. Or at lifts, you know. I mean, I know that with the steel coaster it's not necessary, you know, but at least not if you want to avoid supports that look ugly, but well, what can you do? I'm a sucker for that type of lift. You all know it. Wait, hold on. This needs to be this, else we don't line up proper. And then let's do the same height here, right? So that should in theory mean this. Now we need to be like one higher, so that means lining it up here. And then to the right. No, it's definitely not right. To the left? No way to the left. No, to the left we will hit the other loop. So just to the right here? No. I can't imagine that that would work. Why does it look so off if we do it like this? I'm sure it isn't. It just looks off. I don't know what it is, you know. It's kind of cool though. I mean, over here, they are really close to this section of the path. Over here, it's on this side. Yeah. Now, one of the downsides of this coaster in its current state is that it hasn't really gone into the underground at all. Not that that is like a pre or a must. Okay, maybe a little. And at our current height, we come from height 25. We have quite a bit of speed to work off, basically. And where we are heading at right now, there is loads of tracks that are in our way, basically. So let's see, what can we do here? Maybe something like this. Oh. This would venture really into the orange section. I am a little bit okay with that, but at the same time not really. And this would totally put it into the green section, and this is like the orange section. Yeah. I think I wanted to keep this free, so let's not do this. You know, let's rearrange this, basically. Where else could we go with this track? Is there room for us to do something here? Doesn't seem likely. I mean, that works. How low can we go with this? Oh, well, not that low. Okay. I like where this is going now. Ooh, you know what we could do here? Look at this. And then, oh balls! That's not what I meant. Yeah, I thought for a moment that we'd line up perfectly, which we do now, by the way. You know, after doing at least some track management. Look, for going into the underground, and I think that that will also be like our one and only entrance into the underground for this coaster. Because it's so difficult to really pull off nicely above ground. But I feel like, yeah, you know, it's the only real good underground entrance that we're gonna have for this. So basically, we now need to have this go over here. We will have a speed that is crazy. Now our station is also here somewhere at height 10. Let's just go down here. And then we need to curve this around. Because this is also like the difficult part. Ooh, there's even more theme coming. Now, but this is the difficult part about this coaster. So like, what you want to do with this is make the turns at the higher paces. But yeah, we are now in the underground, so making turns at the higher heights is a little bit difficult. We can at least attempt to do something in the direction of... Wait, where is this exactly at? Oh, right, okay. I mean, I'm not worried about the pace of the general pace of this coaster, so there's at least that much going for it. Then, and another thing I think that's crucial is not doing like unbankings and height changes in like the same tile. I think that's also crucial for this coaster. And then let's just go up by one. And then basically that should do it. So let's break let's break that statement that I just made and do this. Alright, I am very curious as to what these ratings will be. So let's see if it even makes it. Then you'll see that my whole special lifting technique is actually not functional with with these trains. No, it is. And I'm pretty sure that it will actually make it. So you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna hire an extra handy dude for over here. And he's one of the lucky few who... No. You will not mow the path. So far, it's looking good, you know? These G's are definitely acceptable. Wow. 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 Did you see the speed at which it goes through here? Yeah. How cool is this? Oh, man. Yeah, this is amazing. And then again here, you know, with these curves, it's going through really mellow curves at not too high speeds. And I believe that is like key to this, you know. You don't want to go too extreme in the G's with this, which we definitely don't. Now another thing that I want, because I believe this coaster is built in a way that it is going to crash, or it at least has the potential to crash. So you better, yeah, do that. Alright, so where are we at? And it pulls through nicely over there as well. Very good. And look at the speed that it still has. Yeah, that one's definitely capable of crashing because of the pace it says. But let's take a look at what our vertical G's look like. So we have very high vertical G's, but nothing too crazy it seems. And lateral G's, how are those? I believe the highest we have is like below 2. Yeah, look, max lateral G's is 1.6. There's a good chance that this coaster will actually be decent. It has high paces. Well, it's not decent, but we did pull it off straight away. And we have this very cool section in it. You know, for me that's enough. Wow, yeah, this one's tough. You really need to be really careful with it. I think that the high intensity rating comes from the high G's, which I don't really know where we make those high G's. Let me see. We make that over there somewhere. Yeah, I believe it's the second loop. I don't know at which speed we actually passed through there. You, train one, you will be able to tell me. Oh, and by the way, we are gonna open you up. What pace do we pass through here? Yeah, so we could break this to like 67 or something. But then we'd have issues over here. We'd be crawling through there. At the same time, that might not be such a bad idea, to be honest. I don't know, we'll see. For now, what we need to do is name this. And yeah, why don't we call this the Glycerine Express? And then, you know, written fancy there without without the vowels or however you call it. Oh, and look, we're rich, yay! Now it comes to the more important bit though, checking out our park value, which has only gone up by like 1,000. I'm quite surprised, if I'm really honest. I had not expected that we'd be... Oh, those are the supports. Do we really? Yeah, let's really. And then have like the tracks be the orange. No. Let's do this the other way around. And then go with yellow. No. I think we should go with white for this one. Yeah, that looks so much better. Definitely. And what we're gonna do is we need at least like 2 more color schemes. So we will then go with like this and a yellow and a green. So this will definitely be over here. Where is the giraffe? We have this corner here to over here. There's no real need to do this, but let's do it. Let's do it anyway. You know, just as outer curve. And then we need like a second color scheme for the orange section. You know, the more orange-colored bit of this coaster, which let's have you be the darker orange. Have this be the lighter yellow. And also have these supports be more this like. And then that's only really required for over here, but are we really gonna? Yeah, let's do like let's do it like this. There. Right, cool. I'm quite surprised though that this coaster actually passed the rating check like straight away, the Glycerine Express. I am really quite surprised. I like it though. Oh, look at the thermo ball. That's like a 6.4 all of a sudden. Very nice. Right, looking good. Oh, you know what we forgot to do, by the way? Well, actually, that's great. The color of the trains is like perfect, really. What is the ride time? Ooh, 3 minutes 55. Oh, that's of the thermal ball. Wait, let's get the Glycerine Express. That's only 2 minutes 21. That's like 140 seconds. For 3 trains, though. Definitely, let's see, 15 seconds at least. Because it also requires all the guests getting on, so you don't need that long in between times, but it needs to be longer than the average, you know. Now then, what do we have in terms of, well, we still have more coming up. I also want a few more rides in this yellow section. Let's add... There's also no music here. We should also change that. Let's go with... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Can we have Egyptian style? Yeah, we can. Egyptian. I mean, this is the yellow section after all. Right now it has no Egyptian styling or theming whatsoever, but still, you know, that's details. Let's add like a few more rides to this. Do we have... I mean, what I kind of want to do is, you know what? Let's remove like a few trees here. Or shall we do that over here? I think it might be cooler over here, because basically there's no need for us to do path expansion, but what we haven't really done is build something cool like this. And I want to do like a bit of an area where we make custom terraform. But you know what? We'll keep that for later. Hint, hint. I think you all know what we're gonna... Well, you know what I'm gonna do when I say later, right? Yeah, I don't think it should come as a surprise as to what that will result to. Let's see. We'll do it like this, with the entrance here. And then like that. So that means that we don't need a separate exit path and pray that we have handy dudes covering it and whatnot. Nice. Perfect. Can we change? No. I mean, how cool would this be if instead of circus tent, we could make this a bunker? Like, have your circus show in like a World War I bunker, right? How cool would that be? So, now this circus show, by the way, is the excellent ride for during the rain. Snake Charm. The Snake Charm Championship. It's not really a show. Yeah. SCC. Not StarCraft competition. I don't even know if that's like a you know, an acronym for it. I don't care either. Let's go with rather than you know, the white. Let's go with the black and yellow in this one. Yes, and open. Good. Do we need something else here? Definitely. But so far, guys, I think that this whole Glycerine Express is a pretty cool and pretty successful coaster. Even though, you know, admittedly, this one isn't that great in the ratings. I mean, 7.15 is not bad. It's definitely not good. Well, you know what we forgot? We totally forgot to check whether or not we have any guests in the park. And look, wow, there is like a range of 5,000 guests between the first and the last. Then, oh wow, look at this. We have like crazy... We have like a crazy high guest count and money count. Yeah, and you know, here's the thing. We definitely need to add more coasters, and we're gonna do that in this orange section that we need to build stuff in. But we're gonna do that and more next time when we play more Rollercoaster Tycoon.